interesting time for me. The message was about Be the Change, and I guess it was a week ago we saw Esther Hicks. Was that about a week ago now? Did anyone see Esther Hicks in here? Quite a profound experience for me. I listened to their messages a lot, but being in the energy was really quite profound, and so I'm going to share some of that as well today. The message that really came strong for me, and then I had the actual experience of this this week, was whatever may be happening on the physical, whatever it might be, whether it might be something with your health or financial or millions of other things that happen with work, whatever it might be, challenging you in any way, remember that there's so much more taking place than what we can see. And that it's always important to ask the question, if we remember to. Sometimes when you're in it, it's hard to override the ego part, or the part that goes into fear, but to remember that you can ask the question, and that is, what's the gift here? What else is going on that I can't see? Because the universe is always there to support us, always. Even if in the moment it doesn't feel like it, or we can't see how we're going to get out of this situation, there's always a gift and a blessing and a stepping stone. Isn't that true? If you think about things, most challenging times in your life, and what came through from that. Incredible insights, it took you to the next stage, the next place, the next person to meet, the next stepping stone. Isn't that true? So it was interesting because I was thinking about this like for the last several weeks, this kind of idea of, you can't see what's happening in the moment, but what if there's a blessing here, And then on Thursday, I started having pain in my left arm, and I went to see a local GP, and she said, oh, let's do an ECG, let's check your heart. And the ECG came back irregular, where she said to me, you could be having a heart attack. Like, what? That was like a big shock to me. And it just led to a whole journey of going into the hospital on Thursday night and staying in the emergency room and getting blood taken every 4 to 6 hours, and this journey for me of asking myself this question, because I knew inside of me it didn't feel like I was having a heart attack. That didn't feel right to me, and my blood came back normal. So that was an absolute blessing. But it was an interesting night for me. They didn't have a bed on the ward, so I was in the emergency room the whole night. So it was an opportunity for me to go inside myself during the night and do what I teach, do what I talk about, which was I kept asking all night to my heart, what's the message? What do I need to do? I kept praying and blessing and doing all of that stuff all night long. And the message kept coming, you need to forgive, forgive yourself, let go of some things. And the next day I got a really strong message that I've been carrying such deep grief and sadness about something, and that's my mom, about my mother, and I'll probably start crying. That she's alive, but I feel like I lost her 6 years ago when she was diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's. So the woman that I knew as my mother doesn't exist anymore. And the grief has been so big for me, because she was my best friend, And I told her everything, and she was my confidant. She was the closest person in the world to me my whole life. And so this opportunity of going through this with my heart has been a really good opportunity to go, okay, Laura, you still have so much grief here. So I've been writing a letter to her that isn't going to be sent to her, but it's just for me. And this is an opportunity for all of us, to just keep going deeper. Because whatever's happening physically, there's so much more going on. And that's the way the body says, yoo-hoo, you know, have a look at this, you know. What are you feeling? What do you need? What haven't you expressed? What haven't you gotten in touch with? You can take a breath. Yeah, it's powerful, you know. I think this whole idea of, you know, no matter what's happening, that what if there was something greater taking place? What if there was something greater emerging all the time? All the time. Because there is. You know, everything that happens is an opportunity. Everything. To go deeper. To take the flashlight and go, oh, okay, you know, we're all on this journey. We're all peeling layers of the onion all the time, and no matter what we've done, there's still more to do because we're here. When there's no more to do, we'll be on another plane. You know, we'll be on another dimension. So, you know, just to take the flashlight and go, okay, you know, okay, darkness, I'm going to flash some light here to see what gets revealed from that. You don't have to end up in hospital, do it. Please don't. But everything is an opportunity. You know, every pain, every little thing is an opportunity to go, okay, what's underneath that? What's the message here? What do I need to pay attention to? People come to me sometimes in my healing practice with pain, and they want the pain to go in. I go, no, it's there for a reason. It's talking to you. You know, what if you could talk to it and bless it and you know, reveal what's underneath that? Then it can shift. So everything is a blessing, is an incredible opportunity. I don't even see things as bad or good anymore. I see things as an opportunity to learn more, to grow, to let go, to embrace, to love. Isn't that true? One of the things, those of you that know the teachings of Abraham, one of the things that Esther Hicks Abraham, he's speaking through her, yes, is, I am where I am and it's okay. Like, I love that. I am where I am and it's okay. Because so often we make it not okay. I could have sat in the hospital going, you know, one, being in absolute fear, and two, going, what am I doing here, you know? But it was a wonderful opportunity to just surrender more. So I am where I am and it's okay. Howard Thurman says, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And we come alive by being okay with who we are. By being okay where we are. Isn't that true? We don't feel alive when we're not accepting who we are, when we're making what's happening not okay, or making it wrong. And if we can make it all okay, then we can feel alive no matter what's showing up. I really got that this week. You know how it's so interesting, you hear something or you know something, but you can know it on a much deeper level? You get experiences so you really get it on a deeper cellular level. It kind of goes, oh, right, I got that one now. And maybe another thing will come and you'll get it even deeper. Right? So there's always an opportunity for all of us. That's what's so beautiful, isn't it? If you look around this room, we're all amazing souls on this incredible journey together, aren't we? You know? And if you look around, this group came together for a reason. This group has never been the same with all the same people, and it probably will never be. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool to think about that. That really, that your soul said, I'm going to be here at this day, on this time, with all these people today. Hi. And those watching at home, hi! But it's not true. Like, we don't think about how incredible the universe is, how incredible Spirit is, how incredible we are. That we create these amazing things for ourselves. And sometimes they don't feel so amazing. We go, why did I create that one? But it's all amazing because creating that one that might not have seemed like a good one to create helped you get to the next level. So I say, bring it on. Really, you know? Isn't that true? All right, so I wrote up 10 steps for you. And I didn't print them out, but I'm happy to email them to you. So if you just remind me, I'll send you a copy of these. These are 10 steps to rebirth and 10 steps to be the change by, see, I have to bring that song back in, be the change, that help us to just change and be who we are in our life. So, step 1, knowing that we are the creator of our life. That's a big one. That's a really big one. These are all like really big ones. We could talk about each one for like the whole afternoon. But guess what? Curtis is going to be talking about this next Sunday, so you can come back and be able to have another discussion with all of these. Isn't that very cool? I think it's... So, knowing that we are the creator of our life. What does that mean? What does that mean that we're the creator of our life?
We're in charge of our lives. We're like producing our own film.
Yeah. Yeah. In charge of directing, producing, starring. The whole lot. And how do we do that? We do it by what we think and what we believe, don't we? Because we can change it in an instant. The story can change. The future can change by changing the way we look at something, we believe about it, we think about it. I think that's pretty incredible. Don't you? Okay, step 2. Being willing to change and grow by letting go of the need to be right. How many are in that room? I know nobody in here is me. And the need to be in judgment, to judge. So then I have keep on forgiving on a daily basis and letting go of resentment. So that's really big, you know, just becoming aware of where we judge and who we judge and what we judge. It's such a big one. It's, you know, that's a full-time job. Really, it is. Becoming aware, because every time we put that energy of judgment out against ourselves, against another person, against something else, oh, that situation's not good, you know, whatever it might be, we're putting that block up. We're stopping the flow of energy in our life. So it's a good one to just become aware of in this next month. Every time that there's a judgment thought that comes, and the ego loves to judge, loves it. Doesn't it, you know? Oh, I'll judge this, that's not good, I'll judge that person, oh, look at them, you know? How much we judge people we don't even know. We just see them and we make a whole story about them. Oh, they must be this and that and that. And I laugh to myself, you know, when people say that out loud to me, I go, yeah, you're probably the total opposite of what you're thinking about that person, what they are, you know? But there's some part of us that gets attracted to judging and how that blocks us. That blocks us from being magnificent and the light and joyful and healthy and everything. So be willing to let go of that. And be willing to let go of the need to be right. Because what does it do? What happens to us when we have to be right all the time?
Rigid, tense.
Yeah. In our bodies, but also in our life. You get sick. And it keeps us from really experiencing the divine, experiencing a higher, lighter, incredible place, doesn't it? I always like to say to my husband, you just like to be right, you know. But I probably do too, because it's on the mirror anyway. But it's a really, you know, these are all, you know, we're here to practice. spiritual practice. It's just practice. It's like the more we become aware, the more we get an opportunity to just practice. Okay, 3. This is also a hard one for some of us, and we get to practice this one every day, and that's being real and vulnerable and accepting who we are. You know, I know I grew up a lot thinking that being vulnerable wasn't okay, that you were weak if you were vulnerable, and quite the opposite. You know, being vulnerable is incredible. It's a gift to ourselves and to humanity, because it shows who we are, and it shows that we're real, and it shows our soul and our divine being. So being as real and vulnerable as you can is beautiful. People get to see the beauty in you. When I started the center 8 years ago, I said, I'm going to share really personal stuff to me because I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I just want to be real. Because we're all here together, you know. We're all one. We're all on the same path in our own ways, you know. We're all on this amazing journey, and we're all experiencing our own different uniqueness. So I like that one about, you know, accepting. Also, being able to accept who we are. How many of you is that hard for at times? Again, practice. Going, oh, I don't like that one. I think that one's a better one. But again, these are all an opportunity, because I bet you're accepting yourself more now than you ever have before. Is that true? So it's all stages that we take, isn't it? The next one is letting go of our time frame and needing to control things. The ego part of us is not going to like any of these steps, but these are kind of the steps to being rebirthed, to being renewed, to being, you know, who we truly are, and magnificent. And, you know, that one is a really important one, is that, you know, we could say, okay, I want to create this in this time, but then you have to let go of it, because the universe has its own time, and it doesn't always correlate with ours. So the more we can let go of the need to have it be a certain way or look a certain way, the more surprised and excited we're going to be, because what the universe is going to give us is going to be way better than what we can imagine in our minds. Isn't that true? Okay, 5th, trusting more in the flow of life. So again, these are all pretty much the same things, but, you know, just trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly. And I talk about this a lot, but, you know, sometimes we get caught up in our own worries. How come it's not happening yet? I've been putting and praying and putting it out there, and it's not happening. And just trusting that it is happening. Know that it is, and it's happening in its own divine way, in its own divine time, in its own divine flow. You know, this is what Esther was talking about a lot, Abraham talking about a lot at the seminar. All of this information, I sat there going, yeah, it just went deeper in. So it's just a regular reminder for ourselves. And number 6 is going downstream and focusing on feeling good. So this is what they talk about a lot, going downstream and focusing on feeling good and lifting your vibration. So no matter what you're feeling, no matter what's going on, to just focus on, okay, I'm going to focus on feeling good. Because that changes the vibration so that the energy shifts. And number 7, recognizing what is stuck in your thoughts. So what's stuck in your thoughts and vibrations? So where your energy is not flowing. Does that make sense? Kind of stuck in your thoughts. I didn't kind of rewrite that again. But that's kind of how it came out. Does that make sense? So maybe there's a belief that that you're not able to shift yet, or some part of you that's focused on something that isn't where you want to be. So we get a little stuck that way. So it's becoming aware of that, so that once you are, that can shift very quickly. It's like changing the channel on the radio. You know, you're just fine-tuning to another station. all the time, aren't we? We're just fine-tuning. No, I don't like that station. I'm going to tune into this one. Better frequency over here. And that's really what we do every day in our lives, isn't it? You know, just fine-tuning the frequency. Okay, the next one is release any beliefs about not deserving, not being worthy, not being good enough, and know you are. And believe me, I know this one really well because I grew up, like a lot of us did, thinking I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy, all of those things. I didn't even realize the talents and the gifts I had inside of me until I was in my 20s. Sometimes we don't realize them until we're on our deathbed, you know? So really becoming aware of releasing those beliefs and saying to yourself that I am deserving, I am worthy, and I am good enough. Shall we say that together? I am worthy. I am worthy. I am deserving. And I am good enough.
And I am good enough.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am deserving.
I am deserving.
And I am good enough.
And I am good enough.
Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
That's a good affirmation every day, isn't it? Instead of focusing on what you're not, focus on what you are. And then the last two are practices. So each night before you go to bed, and this is what we heard in the seminar, so I wanted to share this with you. Each night before you go to bed, appreciate your day. Before you go to sleep, lie in bed and appreciate your day. Focus on what you're grateful for. So that you're going to bed with that frequency. Not the news, not a horror movie or, you know. Because can you imagine what your mind is doing, what your being is doing with that stuff all night? So you go to bed, right before you close your eyes and fall asleep, you think about what you're grateful for and what you appreciate. Who's going to try that tonight? And then the last one is take 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you can do, each day, each morning, to meditate and be grateful. So start each morning just sitting in that energy of appreciation and gratitude and being grateful for that moment and your life and each part of you and the whole thing. Whatever you can bring into your consciousness about being grateful for. But sit in that energy, that vibration. And the difference it will make to your day will be profound. Because you'll be starting each day with that. Those were probably the two biggest things I got out of the whole day in the workshop with Esther Hicks and Abraham. And how powerful. You know, we think, oh, I don't have enough time for that. But yes, you do, you know. Do it while you're brushing your teeth. We were talking about it earlier, you know. If you're not someone who will sit down in the morning because you have too much to do, then think about doing it while you're doing whatever you're doing, right? I'm grateful for this. I appreciate this. And fill yourself up with that. And all of these are steps for rebirth. For becoming reborn into you, into that real you, into that healthy, vibrant, magnificent you. Sound good? Yeah. And this is the affirmation to leave you with, is whatever may be happening in my life, no matter how hard and challenging it might be in the moment, I remember that there is a higher purpose and a reason for it. The universe loves me and supports my growth, my well-being, and my life. I know it all will be revealed in the perfect way in time. All things happen for my good, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.